CES 2020, and even if we're not used to seeing a lot of mobile launches at this show, TCL decided to give us a little bit of a showcase of what we should expect for their coverage at MWC 2020. If you remember the IFA launch of the TCL Plex, that was more or less an introduction to what the company is going to be doing when it comes to mobile. We saw their new 10 series in addition to some Alcatel affordable devices that are really interesting, and then some concepts that I'm actually really liking. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocketnow with Diego Rivera on camera. This is our first video. Let's start this video with a little bit of a disclaimer. Again, everything that we're going to see is stuff that's going to be fully official at MWC 2020. So a lot of the things are still to be defined. Certain products are actually not even final hardware. So bear with us as we begin, particularly with this 10 series. These are actually three phones, the TCL 10 5G, the 10 Pro, and the 10L. They have a similar design philosophy to the Plex, but notice that the Plex name is now gone. What can I tell you? Well, that we have quad cameras and dual LED flashes. The 10 Pro has an on-display fingerprint scanner, and the 5G and the 10L have a rear sensor. The 10 Pro has a curved AMOLED Edge display, but details on resolution and even the technology of the other phones is still pending. Final software information is also pending, but we do know that it follows on what we saw with the Plex, where the skin is very minimalistic, nearly stock if you may. Probably the most important story is of the 5G variant because the company plans to price it under $500. Again, details are pending on how the company will achieve that. The rest will be over $200 when it comes to the other models, but no specifics are provided. Timing and availability is estimated for Q2 in the US and Canada, but again, no final details on the 5G variant just yet. As for Alcatel devices, we're actually talking about products that are sub $150, which is kind of crazy when you consider exactly what you're getting. Probably the most important one being the 3L because it brings triple cameras, and one of these being a 48 megapixel. In the case of the 1B, this is a sub $100 phone, which is their first Android 10 Go edition, and probably what makes it special is that it only has 2 gigs of RAM and performs pretty much very well. Now let's talk about their concept devices, beginning with their butterfly hinge. And instead of what we saw in the past with the Dragon Hinge where we saw dummies that weren't really workable, the Butterfly Hinge is actually powering an existing prototype. And no worries, the Dragon Hinge is actually not dying. It will just remain as a design for other form factors, not necessarily for smartphones. The Butterfly Hinge is special because there are no gaps. It's actually more convenient for the smartphone tablet usage scenario. Again, this is just a prototype, most likely not the final hardware that we're going to see at MWC. And last but not least, let's talk about Project Ourtree 2.0, because yeah, we saw a 1.0 back at IFA, sort of, more as a concept. Now we see its successor. This is actually a wearable display concept. It's more like a wearable TV than anything. If you're sitting on a plane, for example, the company claims that the experience is better than what the planes provide. You can use it for gaming and content consumption, but this is actually not a 360-degree VR experience. This is more, again, like a display on your glasses, which is pretty much more convenient if you think about it in certain scenarios. And honestly, the resolution experience, even if we don't have specifics, is rather better than I expected. It's actually really good. But yes, this is more or less what we've seen here at TCL's mobile division at CES 2020. Actually, their TV announcements are huge, and then their audio announcements are so big that it would rather pertain as separate videos, so stay tuned for that. Let us know what you think about the 10 series in the comments down below, in addition to the concepts and the Alcatels. So far, I'll tell you, this 10 series actually looks really cool. I can't wait to actually get units of these. Let us know what you think in the comments down below, and while you're at it, follow us on social media, subscribe to our channels for more videos like this one. Also follow us on our personal handles to see us play here at CES 2020, and also stay tuned as more coverage is coming very soon. I'm Jaime Rivera. See you very soon with more.